Here are the top 5 most common mistakes new immigrants in Canada make, and make sure as much as possible to not make these common mistakes. Number 1 is not establishing your credit score as fast as possible. So credit score essentially is your history of taking on a debt and paying this debt to a lender or to a financial institution. Having a high or a good credit score essentially allows you to borrow money for bigger expenses or bigger investments, such as buying a house, buying a car, or taking a capital for investments. So it is certainly a must that as soon as you land in Canada, you immediately open an account with a bank. It's CIBC, Bank of Nova Scotia, RBC, TD Bank. These are huge banks, and they have got absolutely good options for immigrants when it comes to opening bank accounts. They have got a variety of options where you can open a checking account, and they will also provide you a credit card with opening a certain checking account. Credit card is absolutely important. As much as possible, do not buy items using cash or debit card, because then if you did, you are not necessarily helping yourself establishing your credit score, but you have to have discipline, of course, when you use your credit card. The interest rate here is quite hefty. It's really, it will run you dry. It's about 20% of the unpaid amount. Now, there's one thing that you have to truly consider. Whenever you apply for a credit card or a loan or a line of credit, you are hit with a credit check. There are 2 kinds of credit check. One is called the soft credit check, and the other one is hard credit check. The soft credit check is a credit check that you yourself can perform, and if you did this yourself, there is no hit on your credit score. When I say hit, it does not decrease your credit score. On the other hand, if you do a hard credit check is performed by the lenders, and hard credit check essentially decreases your score normally by 5 points. So if you apply for so much credit cards, or if you apply for so much loan, and then your credit score can definitely decrease remarkably. So you have to take that hard credit checks at a minimum. The ideal credit score in Canada is between 660 and 724. If you are diligent with your payments, with discipline on your money, this number, this 724, is truly easy to achieve. The second money mistake, I believe, is buying a brand new car or leasing a car. I certainly do not believe in buying a brand new car, and much less with leasing a car, because when you lease a car, it's like renting an apartment. You never really get any equity on the asset or the expense that you make. Maintaining a car is very expensive here. The insurance alone, the cost of the car alone, wherein you have to pay 15% on top of the cost of the car, this cost can add up. And therefore, if you are new or you're looking at moving to New Brunswick, I certainly recommend that you find an apartment within the city center, along the main street or along Mountain Road, even in the main highways of DEP or Riverview, wherein the bus routes are easy and accessible, because then if you did, then you wouldn't have any problem with transportation. Now, if you certainly come to a point that you have decided that certainly you need a car, and therefore I certainly recommend that you buy used cars. The third mistake that I believe newcomers make is not investing as soon as possible. Normally, when immigrants land for the first time in Canada, we have money with us, and this money would sit in the bank, and we will think that it is an emergency fund, and therefore we are scared to invest the money, because the moment we need the money, it is not there for us to use. Now, this essentially makes sense as well, but you also have to consider that if it only sits in the bank and does not do anything for you, you are essentially wasting your opportunity and you are wasting your time, because the money that you have sitting in the bank should be working for you so that you are able to faster achieve the financial state that you want in life. There are various savings accounts or tax sheltered accounts, the Registered Retirement Savings Plan and TFSA, the tax-free savings account. The difference between these two is that RSP is one considered a as a retirement fund in the US, and it is considered as a retirement fund here in Canada. And therefore, if you invest in any US stock, your gains or your return in this investment are not taxed as long as you do not withdraw them. The moment you withdraw money, then you are taxed. TFSA, on the other hand, is a different story because it is not considered as a retirement fund in the US, and therefore I certainly do not recommend buying US equities or US stocks under your TFSA. Normally, what I do at least is that I buy domestic stocks or the stocks that are traded at the Toronto Stock Exchange. Both these accounts have got a maximum contribution limit for TFSA on a yearly basis. It is announced by the government. In 2021, it was $6,000, and in 2022, it is also the same amount, $6,000. Do not over contribute in any of these two savings accounts, because if you did, then you will have to pay a violation fee or an interest of some sort. The fourth one is not budgeting properly. Now, there are two kinds of the things that I wanted to share with you here. There are people who budget very strictly, and they know their expenses on a monthly basis, and up to that certain dollar is how much they would budget on a monthly basis. And to an extent, it might work, but the thing is, if you do not have cushion of about 10 to 15% and an emergency happens, and then that could potentially be a problem. What I do normally is that I have my budget, and then I provide a cushion of 10 to 15% just in case I wanted to, or I wanted to buy something, or I needed to buy something, or something came up. And then there are these other kinds of people who budget way too much. They have got the monthly expenses, and they budget way too much because they're afraid that if they needed money, then they do not have the amount of money necessary for them to spend. Now, this is also good, but if you over budget and then you are wasting the extra disposable income that you have, you could have invested that into a stock or into an index fund, and that amount of money should have been working for you. So you have to truly strike a balance. Do not over budget, and do not be too strict on your budget, because there are things that you will certainly want to buy on certain occasions. And the fifth one is not searching for the best deals whenever you go grocery shopping. The most common grocery shops here are the Walmart, the Superstore. There is the higher end, which is Sobeys. I actually did a video wherein I discuss about the money hacks. It's gonna be here. These are the various discounter shops that you can go to save money. Now, aside from these money hacks, I would like to make a comparison on the costs between Walmart and the Superstore here. If we compare Walmart with Superstore on the eggs, 12 pieces of eggs is cheaper with Walmart. This is milk, and it is cheaper at Walmart as well. But having a look at the chicken drumstick, 11 pieces, between Superstore and Walmart, Superstore is cheaper. Even if we compare pork loin, Superstore is cheaper as well. So it seems that when it comes to usual grocery items, Walmart is cheaper, but when it comes to meat and some poultry products, Superstore provides better deals. So that's something that you have to consider whenever you purchase. And there it is. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope that you gained value in this video. If you did, please do consider to share, like, and subscribe. And I certainly would like to hear more from you guys. What would you like me to cover in the various videos that we'll publish in the future? I'm hoping to see your comments in the comment box, and I hope to certainly see you in my next video.